this is the place to do it. Hey, travel reporter John Bartell here. This week we're gonna check out the scenic highways and the dusty trails of Oregon. Everything from the pioneer paths to the quirky roadside attractions. There's a whole lot to see. And we're gonna start things off at Crater Lake, the crown jewel of the Beaver State. It's often referred to as the crown jewel of Oregon. Crater Lake National Park, home to the deepest lake in the United States, bottoming out at depths of 1,943 feet. It also holds some of the cleanest and clearest water in the world. But if you want to get down to the water, the only way to get there is on the Cleetwood Cove Trail, a grueling, steep, 1-mile-long walking path that's unfortunately about to close.
There are trees that have fallen, rocks that have decided to find a new home, things that just need to be repaired. And it's come time that the trail needs some major TLC.
Summer of 2025 will be the last time the general public will be allowed to get to Crater Lake's cobalt blue colored waters until trail repairs are finished in 2029.
So this is temporary. It's been temporary for a number of years.
Park Ranger Audrey Golden says the reason for the lengthy repairs is because for about 9 months out of the year, roads and trails into Crater Lake are covered in snow. That means construction crews have a short window to fix the failing trails, bathrooms, and boat launch.
To get all the equipment that we need and materials we need down to the lake, it is not safe on this trail to have them going up and down with materials and park visitors as well.
Knowing this would be my last chance to get down to the water, I asked Audrey for the grand tour.
What you're looking at is a lake that was formed because the top 5,000 feet of a 12,000-foot mountain decided to collapse back down into the earth where the material originally came from.
Crater Lake is the result of multiple volcanic implosions and explosions that happened 7,700 years ago. Left behind was a crater or caldera 5 miles wide for water to collect in.
This is a closed system. There are no rivers or streams that allow sediment, pollution, plants or animals into the lake. So the only way that water gets into Crater Lake is from precipitation, so rain and snow. On a good day, we can see down about 100 to 104 feet.
The water in Crater Lake is not only clean and clear, but it also holds some mystery.
Just off the bow of the boat, we're going to make a few laps. You're going to see something sticking up out of the water up here. It's the Old Man of Crater Lake. Who here has heard of the Old Man?
To learn more about the mysterious water, it's best to catch a boat tour of the lake with interpreter Marley Kinsman.
The Old Man is a 30-foot long mountain hemlock log who stands vertically up in the lake and just bobs around all throughout the day. He was first spotted in the lake in 1896, but he has been carbon dated beyond 450 years old.
It's unclear why or how the Old Man has survived so many years in Crater Lake, but Marley provides tourists like me with a possible explanation.
And I will tell everybody else soon on the boat, but this is also known, Crater Lake is also known as the Fountain of Youth. All of our employees, while we might look very young, very beautiful, we are averaging anywhere between 100 and 1,000 years old.
Crater Lake water is so clean, it's safe to drink right out of the lake, and Marley says the national park is the only place you can taste it because though scientists have discovered a leak in the lake, they are not sure where the water goes.
We sampled water from many local waterways, and not a single one has any trace of Crater Lake water. So where it goes after it leaves the Palisades really is a mystery.
There are so many more mysteries to see on the boat tour, including what's living on Wizard Island and what's below the rocky outcrop of Phantom Ship. That's one heck of a hike. Unfortunately for visitors, those lake mysteries can't be explored until repairs to the Cleetwood Trail are completed in 2029.
It is going to be disappointing for a lot of visitors, but in the end, we will have a much better trail, a safer trail.
Up next, we head to Cave Junction in southern Oregon to climb into the treetops at Out'n'About Treehouse Treesort, because apparently hotels on the ground are just a little too mainstream. It's the only place where you can sleep like a kid, zip line like Tarzan, and learn how to build a treehouse of your own.
But didn't you ever dream of having a house up on a treetop?
Living in a treehouse doesn't have to be a dream like it was in Disney's Swiss Family Robinson. That treehouse dream can be a reality at Out'n'About Treehouse Treesort in Cave Junction, Oregon.
I boast this as being the highest concentrations of tree houses in the world.
Meet Michael Garnier.
I'm the main entrepreneur here.
Not only does Michael have some tremendous tree puns, he's also figured out a way how to make money grow on trees when he started his unique bed and breakfast back in the 1990s.
People ask me where I came up with the idea for this, and I say I tried a lot of things and this one worked.
Michael's a bit of a know-it-all, part engineer, part carpenter, and even dabbles in a little interior design.
This is the forestry.
There's 16 high-flying tree houses, each with their own unique design, look, and feel.
Yeah, we're about 35 feet up in the trees here. And one of the things with this is, and when the wind blows, this bough moves, you know.
So these aren't your typical tree houses. They have all the amenities you'd expect in a normal house, including plumbing. There's not a whole lot of privacy in here.
No, but this, I mean, you usually only use it late at night, so you have to go down, and hopefully everybody else is sleeping. So.
A series of cable bridges will take you from one tree house to the next, offering a unique view of the forest and many classic treehouse features. Is this the mail service here?
Well, yeah, this is laundry. This is your valet.
Michael is kind of the pioneer in the treesort business, which has really branched out over the years. He actually teaches people all over the world to build tree houses, but when Michael first started planting his roots in southern Oregon, his treesort was not a welcome idea by the Josephine County Permit and Building Department.
Well, when I started, they did not say you're off to go. It took, they said you can't do it.
Michael faced nearly a decade of regulatory resistance from Josephine County over the strength and safety issues. That is until he famously piled over 10,000 pounds of friends and family onto one of his tree houses to prove its structural integrity, which caught the attention of several newspapers and media outlets.
I would have never gotten permission, but I used publicity and humor.
Michael says one of the key factors in winning over the county inspectors is his invention called the Garnier limb, which supports the treehouse structure without actually hurting the tree.
So this Garnier limb will hold over twice as much as just a regular bolt.
Thanks to the Garnier limb and Michael's never-ending drive to innovate, he expanded the treesort activities to include ziplining, rope swings,
Holy crap!
Oh, wow.
and this strange spinning contraption used to amaze guests.
Dr. Birch's Yankee Doodle picture propeller. It's an organic psychedelic kaleidoscope.
That's really cool. Unfortunately, you're gonna have to experience this thing in person. There's really no way to catch it on camera.
Oh yeah. How does this even work?
It's magic. What do you mean?
Well, if you ask me, the whole treesort is magic. It's a place where guests can really live out the Swiss Family Robinson dream, and Mike can live out his own treehouse building dreams.
I mean, you can't ask for more if you get paid for something that you do that you like and the people like.
At the southwestern edge of Oregon is a geyser that erupts out of the ground like clockwork. It's called Old Perpetual, and it's one of Lakeview's main attractions. Bring your western wear, because next door to this geological wonder is a cowboy roadhouse. Many travelers on Highway 395 drive right through the farming community of Lakeview, Oregon, probably because they don't think there's anything to see.
Look at that! Yeah!
But that's not true. There's one really amazing thing to see.
So this is Old Perpetual. This is Oregon's only geyser.
Old Perpetual sits in the middle of a shallow pond, and every 5 to 7 minutes, it puts on a spectacular water show.
How high is this thing going?
I would say like 30 to 60 feet. It really varies based on the water table. Right now, I'd say it's probably about 20, 30.
That's way high.
Megan Ridge is the restaurant manager at Neon Cowboy Roadhouse, your front row seat to not only the geyser, but learning about it too.
So Lake County is like a really geothermically active area. Probably one of the most geothermically active areas in Oregon.
Megan says there's geothermal hot springs all over Lakeview, but there weren't any geysers until 1923, when the land developer by the name of Harry Hunter started drilling for water that was supposed to supply a health spa he was building.
A lot of places use the geothermal to heat their buildings. So they were drilling, and instead of just getting hot water, they created a geyser.
Harry Hunter actually drilled several wells on the property, creating a total of 3 accidental geysers, 2 of which have since stopped erupting, but the 200-degree mineral water attracted many spa goers in the early days.
Hot springs usually have magnesium, sulfur, silicas, potassium, calcium, and all that stuff is really good for your skin.
Today, the geyser is owned by the Neon Cowboy Roadhouse, which is kind of a new twist on the old Hunter Hot Springs spa.
What is a roadhouse?
Yeah, I would say a roadhouse is a more rustic version of a resort. It's just a place where you have entertainment, food, lodging. They'll stop along your travels.
These days, the atmosphere is a little more lively. People can still swim in the mineral pool, but they can also enjoy modern rooms, lounge in the game room, or get a little rowdy in the bar.
We do karaoke nights. Yes, the cowboys out here get a little rowdy. We've had some fun nights.
Up next, we take a wild ride down the Alpine Slide at Mount Hood Ski Bowl. It's like a roller coaster racetrack where you ride on a sled with wheels, and brakes are more of a suggestion. Snow or no snow, Mount Hood Ski Bowl's been giving people a downhill thrill since 1928. It's one of the oldest ski resorts in the country, and it turns out you don't even need skis to scream your way down the mountain.
This is the famous Alpine Slide. This was installed in 1981. So families have been riding this for generations, but it's almost like a winter bobsled. You're coming down the mountain, you've got some high-end corners, and you've got the view of Mount Hood your whole way down.
Before fiberglass sleds and the summer bobsled runs, this place was making ski history. In 1928, the first jump hill was installed. In 1937, the first rope tow. And by 1946, the first 2-man chairlift.
Why do they call it ski bowl?
Ski bowl, it's a giant bowl up top. So they just named it as simple as ski bowl.
Well, you better not be afraid of heights, because if you want to ride the Alpine Slide, you must first jump on the chairlift, which takes you up 2,000 feet in elevation in a matter of minutes. The ride down, though, well, much faster.
You can reach speeds up to about 40 miles an hour. A lot of these kids, you'll see they're kind of braking around the corners and taking it slow. And the speed is up to you. So we do have 2 tracks. We call one the scenic track and one the experience track.
Once at the top of the slide, gravity does the rest of the work. A handbrake between your legs controls your speed, but I suggest letting it rip. This quarter-mile track has 2 side-by-side runs, one scenic and one for the thrill seekers. Either side has an amazing view of Mount Hood. In fact, it's so beautiful that my wife and I got married at Ski Bowl back in 2017. And if sliding down the mountain isn't enough, Ski Bowl has a full amusement park in the summer with go-karts, bungee jumping, and a high-flying treetop obstacle course.
That's a long ways down!
Well, from the ski slopes in the upper bowl to the warp speed Alpine Slide in the summer, Mount Hood Ski Bowl has been making memories for nearly a century now. Hey, John Bartell here. We're taking a look at some of Oregon's hidden gems. Now, this next spot may mess with your head a little bit. Welcome to the Oregon Vortex, a place where heights can change at a moment's notice. Round things seem to roll uphill and gravity seems to be broken. It's a real head scratcher. Take a look. Hiding below a forest of oak trees in Gold Hill, Oregon, is an unexplainable and invisible force. A place that animals fear and gravitational anomalies go unexplained. It's also a place where golf balls roll up hills and brooms stand upright on their own.
I'm just gonna lift it right up into the air. And as we see, that bristle didn't take a heavy swing in towards me.
This mysterious place is known as the Oregon Vortex.
And as old as we are as a tourist attraction, the Vortex has presumably been here forever.
It's a little tough to explain what a vortex is, but operations manager Joshua Paulson does his best to simplify the anomaly.
A whirlpool of motion or force is the easiest way to define a vortex. So everything from drains in our sinks to hurricanes or tornadoes, all the way up to a black hole or a galaxy on a supermassive scale. Each of these things represent a vortex.
According to Joshua, the vortex is about a half an acre in size, and once inside, the laws of physics start to bend.
Just want to make sure everything's staying nice and level, so we'll let it stop here in the middle.
On seemingly level ground, shorter people appear to gain a few inches, and taller people, well, appear shorter.
So you feel taller?
I do feel taller.
Oh, that's nice, right?
If you didn't catch that, here's a side-by-side look.
Putting it onto the handrail as you come in, it can be tricky to locate your balance, especially the first time through.
In the middle of the vortex stands an old miner's shack that supposedly slid down the hill during a storm, which left the walls lopsided by 8 feet on either direction, only to accentuate some of the strange things that go on in the vortex.
I mean, I can put a little.
It's almost
bit
like
into
I gotta catch it.
Yeah,
here,
right. And like you know,
that.
I feel like I need to stop you, right?
Yeah.
But
Legend has it, Native Americans called this place Forbidden Grounds, and after gold miners abandoned the property, physicist John Lister purchased the land in 1920.
John Lister is the cheerful-looking gentleman here with his pants tucked firmly up into his armpits. There he is.
John Lister devoted a good portion of his life to trying to solve the mysteries of this place. To fund his research, he gave tours of the property and even conducted experiments on skeptical tourists.
Skeptics are honestly our bread and butter, and honestly, we leave them scratching their heads more often than we leave them, grumpy or thinking, that we pulled something, like they're looking behind the curtain, right?
The results of John Lister's experiments are just as mysterious as the vortex itself. Around the time of his death in 1957, the barn that had all of his scientific notes mysteriously burned to the ground.
Some people think he burned it just before he died because the world wasn't ready, or that his wife did for similar reasons.
We may never get the answers to the mysteries behind the Oregon Vortex, but in a way, that's kind of a good thing, because those mysteries are what bring thousands of people all over the world to the Vortex every year. Up next, we're rewinding time at the last Blockbuster in Bend, Oregon, where late fees haunt the aisles and the 90s never left. It's the only place you can still rent VHS, buy popcorn, and feel nostalgic all in one stop.
I've never seen 10,000 tapes in one store.
In 2004, Blockbuster had over 9,000 stores. By 2010, corporate had filed for bankruptcy, and by 2014, the last corporate Blockbuster had closed its doors. But here in Bend, Oregon, one stubborn little franchise survived. How? Well, luck, determination, and a whole lot of local support.
A lot of luck has played into it. A lot of hard work has played into it. But yeah, just my love of movies, love of my crew that works here, my customers.
For over 20 years now, General Manager Sandy Harding has worked at the Bend Blockbuster, and despite the growing challenges of acquiring DVDs and VHSs, the store hasn't changed a lot, including the computer checkout system.
It is a DOS-based IBM computer system. You can see it has 1985 to 2006 in here.
This shop wasn't always a Blockbuster. In 1990, Ken and Debbie Trisher moved to Bend and opened Pacific Video. 10 years later, they joined the Blockbuster franchise.
Blockbuster is officially closing the doors of all of its corporate-run stores.
Fast forward through the credits, and by 2019, after Alaska and even Australia closed, Bend was the only one to push the play button.
They were so kind. That store actually called us the last night they were open and wished us well. And I'm like, it was really cool that they called us all the way from Australia just to tell us good luck.
And yes, people still rent DVDs here every single day. Some even bring their kids just to teach them the ancient ritual of dropping off the movies in the return box.
And we've had people who will come in and rent a movie just to go back outside and put it in the drop box so their kids can experience that with them.
The store keeps its lights on with rentals, donations, and plenty of Ben-made Blockbuster swag. But what really keeps people coming back is the professional movie recommendations, even when the first choice is checked out.
We're here to give you suggestions, recommendations of different things, but it's not just us. You could be walking around, in the same aisle with another customer, and the other customer could be like, oh my gosh, did you see that? Or, people strike up conversations about movies all the time. So I think that is one of the things that you don't get sitting on your couch all by yourself.
Streaming might rule the present, but here in Bend, Oregon, rewinding is still required, at least metaphorically. Hey, John Bartell here. We're exploring the backroads of Oregon. Up next, we're heading to Oregon Caves National Monument because nothing says a vacation like going in a dark, damp hole full of bats. Grab your flashlight because we're doing a little spelunking. As legend has it, in 1874, a man by the name of Elijah Davidson was hunting in the Siskiyou Mountains with his dog Bruno, when all of a sudden, Bruno caught a whiff of something and ran inside a dark entrance to a hidden cave.
He could hear his dog barking inside the cave, and he could hear a bear growling in there too, according to his story. So he decided to go in and rescue his dog from the bear.
Armed with nothing more than a handful of matches, Elijah went inside. He didn't find his dog, and he didn't find the bear, but he did find one of Oregon's only marble caves.
Marble is what happens when limestone gets buried really deeply in the Earth's crust, and it's metamorphosed under heat and pressure and changed a little bit. So marble, only about 10% of the world's caves are actually made in marble. So it's kind of awesome that we have a marble cave here in Oregon.
Awesome, but also cramped. Caitlin Ekblom, also known as Ranger Kate, says if you want to tour the Oregon caves, visitors must be able to duck, weave, and climb a surprising number of stairs.
I should mention that we've done about 100 stairs, but there are 500 total on the tour, so we do have a lot more stairs in the second half than in the first half.
In all, the cave passageways run 3.5 miles, but on Ranger Kate's tour, she's only taking you 0.7 miles through some of the cave's most interesting features, like the all-too-familiar stalactites and stalagmites. But there's also a strange mineral deposit called cave bacon.
What does the cave bacon taste like?
It probably tastes like Tums, because calcite, the thing that this rock is made out of, is actually the same thing in Tums.
Though it is probably the only bacon that will fight heartburn, Ranger Kate does not advise eating it. So as you make your way deeper into the cave, the cramped quarters start to open up into vast caverns.
How was this cave formed?
It was mainly formed by rainwater and snowmelts coming down from up above, carrying acid from carbon dioxide, so it's called carbonic acid, and it reacts with the mineral that this rock is made out of. It reacts with calcite and it dissolves it.
The cave formed over millions of years, and within that time, prehistoric animals started entering the cave. And Ranger Kate says archaeologists discovered that some of those animals never made it out.
What did you guys find in here?
2 jaguar skeletons from the Pleistocene. So they're very old, like from the last ice age. And we've even found a bone that we think might be from a short-faced bear. Those are completely extinct.
You won't find any jaguars in the cave today, but you might find some other cave creatures.
And actually right up here, there's a cave cricket right there.
Oh, there's a centipede right there.
And there's also a millipede.
After it was first discovered, a number of people tried to turn the cave into a tourist attraction, but it wasn't until 1909 that the caves were officially protected as a national monument, and a proper road was created so people could easily visit. Despite the name, the town of Boring, Oregon is anything but. One of the town's top attractions is the Oregon Bigfoot Center, where you can search for Sasquatch, swap theories, and examine some suspicious footprints. At first glance, there's not a whole lot going on in the small town of Boring, Oregon. In all honesty, it looks like a lot of foothill communities that eventually lead up to Mount Hood. But if you let curiosity get the best of you, and you take the Boring exit right off Highway 26, I think you'll find something that'll catch your attention.
We're in the North American Bigfoot Center, which is located in Boring, Oregon. Despite the name of the city, I mean, there's great things happening here.
According to owner Cliff Barachman, Clackamas County has some of the highest reported Bigfoot sightings in Oregon, and that's exactly why he built the North American Bigfoot Center right here in Boring.
Clackamas County has the most sighting reports in Oregon because that's where people overlap with Sasquatches the most, like the habitat of both species overlap in this case. And most of that is because of Mountain Hood National Forest, which is one of the most heavily visited national forests in all of North America.
They're here.
Cliff is not just a Bigfoot enthusiast. He was an evidence analyst on the hit Animal Planet show Finding Bigfoot.
I hosted that show along with 3 other people for 9 years. It was a very, very successful show. It taught me a lot about Sasquatches and kind of put me in the public eye and gave me an opportunity to do something like this.
The North American Bigfoot Center is not just a museum. Cliff says it's a research center full of evidence.
Here at the NABC, we have a sample loop of a number of vocalizations that are recorded both by me and other researchers throughout the country.
Along with Bigfoot sounds, there's hordes of photographs taken from all over the world and a library of videos that have been vetted by Bigfoot investigators.
We have photographs of Sasquatches, we have videos, one of which was taken in Roseburg that can be seen nowhere else in the world except for right here.
Where'd you get 'em? How'd you get 'em?
Film and TV have portrayed Bigfoot as a mythical creature for decades, but Cliff says the evidence and real human sightings of Bigfoot have been reported all over the world, and skeptics can see the proof right here.
So I hope that by exposing people to the actual scientific evidence that is out there that they've never seen before, maybe they'll say, hey, maybe there is something there. After all, that's how I started.
Cliff admits he personally has only encountered Bigfoot a few times since he started hunting them, but those few times were all it took him to believe and to share his beliefs with others.
I'll never be rich, but I have something the billionaires don't. I have enough. My bills are paid, and I have a great way to make a living that I love every single day.
Hey, thanks for watching Bartell's Backroads and exploring some of Oregon's hidden gems with me. I hope it's inspired you to take a little road trip of your own. I'm John Bartell. Hope to see you on the Backroads.